Welcome back, and we are joined now by the Commissioner of the Gulf South Conference, Matt Wilson. Thank you so very much for joining
Glad to
us.
be here. Thanks for a
All
long
right.
day for us.
Yes, yes, and this is year number 11.
Starting 11. That's hard to
Yes.
believe, but it's been a good stretch.
Good, good, good. Now, football season was pretty good.
Yes, I'd say.
And we say pretty good because national championships are the standard for the Gulf South Conference. 3 teams make it to the playoffs, and that's not something that happens very often. And you made it all the way to the quarterfinals, but your coaches still had some issues with the fact that, lack of a better term, it was cannibalism.
Yeah,
You had to end up playing each other.
How could you not, right?
Right.
When you look at how Division II does its football playoffs, it really disadvantages conferences that get multiple teams in. There's no reason for first-round matchups to save a few dollars on travel, which is what it comes down to, right? So we have 3 GSC teams that are all going to face each other in the first 2 rounds. So after 2 weekends, there'll only be 1 GSC team. What's the reward of a great regular season for our teams if they're all put in the same quadrant with no opportunity to advance? And it's not based on seeding, it's based on geography, right? And that's no good. The GLIAC, another great football conference, has 2 national title contenders in Grand Valley and Ferris. They play each other first.
Wow.
The PSAC has 3 teams in. They have a similar situation where they're all knocking each other out early. And then the Northern Sun gets 3 in, and they have to send one of their teams 1,400 miles away because of the way regionalization works. I just think that it has served a purpose. It serves a great purpose in some other sports, but it's time to reevaluate how we do it in football. We've got to avoid these first-round matchups. We've got to realize the value of football on our campuses and put the best product forward that we can and try to get a little closer to a true national championship.
When you look at the landscape of college athletics, we've had a lot of court cases. We've had a lot of new rules. We have NIL. We have all of those things, and people are looking at Division II. Where does Division II align with this? Where do they fall in that? And I'm going to ask you, first of all, with NIL and collectives and things of that nature, we had some athletes here who said, traditionally, hey, I went to work, I built fences, I worked at a pizza place. Where does the collectives and NILs fall, and is that something that is possible for Division II athletes?
It is. You see it, but it's very irregular. A lot of the NIL is really the student athletes hustling, right? It's almost side gig economy, right? We hear all that. You can't read an article online without talking about somebody's side gig or how it's going to be the new economy. That's where our student athletes can have that success, whether it's camps or lessons or promoting some sort of line of clothing or workout equipment or something like that. That's where our folks can see that. Or the burrito shop that says, hey, post on your Instagram, we'll give you a few free burritos after the fact. So NIL is a unique space for our folks, and it's really got to be student-driven if they're going to have success, and it's few and far between in Division II. On the collectives, that's an interesting thing. You're starting to see collectives in men's basketball in Division II.
Wow.
There are starting to be NIL payments to highly successful Division II men's basketball programs that mirror at a little less value what you see at some mid-major Division I levels.
Wow. That makes it difficult as far as an even playing field. If you're offering, I have a scholarship, but they say I have a scholarship plus a collective donation to you. How do you compete with that?
It just changes the way our athletic departments, our coaches have to work, right? So instead of going and asking for money for the locker room renovation, now you've got to ask money for the collective and the NIL payment for the basketball team, right?
Wow.
So it's going to just change the way they have to do work. That's the landscape we're in. If the students can get access to those resources, great for them. Have at it. That is what do they say? It's out of the barn, right? So let's make the most of it, and let's make it as good as we can do while protecting the interests of both the student athletes and the institutions. Division II's got a unique opportunity here. I think many people would say Division II looks like traditional college athletics. There's partial scholarship model. The kids can go take internships. They can work in the summer. They can do what they want to do. Travel stays local and regionalized for the most part. We have to find a way to protect that at some level, because this idea that student athletes can be employees would really damage college athletics below a certain level. Maybe it doesn't hurt Alabama. It probably hurts them, hurts their pocketbook, right? They can't spend that money somewhere else. But they're going to be sustainable and still be able to do what they need to do. I don't know that all of our institutions can do that if all of a sudden we're seeing student athletes the same way we see a work-study student.
Correct. look at growth as far as sports and teams in the Gulf South Conference, you've added a team out of Montgomery.
Nashville, Trevecca.
Oh, yeah, and
Yeah, that's right.
Trevecca.
That's right. That's
Yes,
right.
true.
That's right. So Trevecca's coming in. Not a football playing member. We obviously need to address our football membership. It's something I work on every single day. We spent time with our coaches and ADs this week talking about how can we make sure we're providing meaningful competition opportunities for our student athletes and growing those opportunities. So we're on the look. I think bigger is better now. I don't think there's a number that could be too big at this point. So, but we're looking for willing partners. However, the uncertain landscape in higher education, right? I don't know that everybody knows, but there's a demographic shift coming where the number of 18-year-old students is going to fall off significantly. So the number of first-year college freshmen that colleges are competing for is going to reduce significantly, and it's becoming more and more competitive. You're seeing that challenge, and then the uncertainty with the NCAA and what does it look like to compete. I think a lot of schools are kind of taking a wait and see. Let's not rock the boat in a huge way, and let's see what happens. And maybe this landscape looks significantly different in 26-27 or 27-28.
When you look at your other sports, you did have a lot of games in other sports. In the fall, how busy is your schedule, and how important is it to make sure that all teams, all sports, feel like they have the same level of importance in the Gulf South Conference as football?
Yeah, our staff does a really good job of making sure everybody feels that, and we try to make our championships as good as we can make them. We bring as many resources, and both financial and human, to bear to make those great experiences for those student athletes. But again, a lot of it comes, we can set the table, but the schools have to create great experiences for their student athletes, and it becomes a really recruiting instance for them, right? Let's make them happy. Let's make sure people know what's going on. So we try to set the table. We try to set high expectations, but it's fun to watch them compete. I'm ready for the end of August, for September to get here.
When you look at the changes that the coaches want to see, is that something that the committee can make this year if they wanted to, if they could vote it in to make that tweak, or is something that they can start now and it'll go into 25?
The wheels of bureaucracy within the NCAA move very slowly. So they don't want to be patient. It's going to be one of those things that we have to be patient with. There's some opportunities where things happen really quickly. These kind of major decisions, unless the action is forced by litigation or other instances, typically take a little while to work. You're usually looking out to 18 months of change.
Wow.
So it just takes some time. We have to keep knocking on that door, beating that drum. Do you have any other idioms or something I can throw in there? I think
Screaming?
I'm out. Great, that'll be good. That'll be good. But we have to keep doing that, and we've got a great set of leaders in influential committees in the NCAA that can do that.
This whole two-day experience, you have meetings with your coaches, you have meetings with your SAC groups, meetings with your officials. They say that this is a great experience. How do you look at it and try to enhance it to improve the student-athlete experience?
That's a great question. There's some things that we can probably do, but we really feel like we've put on a good two-day experience for our football coaches and student athletes here. Our 3 days of our student athlete advisory committee meetings are great. Andrea Anderson on our staff leads that, and it just continues to get better. And John Smoot's done a great job with our officials. So you add that to what Jason and Angelo are doing with our media production, and we're in a really good spot. So it's be interesting to get the feedback from the coaches. So we've made some improvements. This used to be recorded, and then we posted it later. Now we're live, and we've got our media partner here supporting it and providing extra content with Flow Sports. So it just continues to grow. I hope we can do more with it.
You're going to have tablets on the sideline for football, more technology. You had instant replay on the sideline last year. How excited are you to see a coach looking down at their tablet, looking up, or pointing to something on their tablet with a player?
I'm excited if it helps make them better at what they're doing and what they're trying to accomplish. We're in a day where people don't want to work 70 or 80 hours anymore. So does this tablet technology help the coaches be able to be more efficient with their time and be able to get their message across to these student athletes who are so used to consuming content on screens? I hope that that's what happens. I hope it makes them more efficient, easier communicators, and a better experience for them. It's an investment from the schools. The conference isn't making a huge investment in that part. We were a leader financially on the football replay for our officials. The schools are leading in this space because they think it's important, and we're glad to be able to support it.
Good. The future, for the conference? I know we're trying to find more football teams, but also as far as looking for other teams in other sports, how are you checking that landscape?
It's every day looking to see who's out there, who might be a match, whether it's geographically, institutional fit, sports sponsorship, or all three, which is the unicorn. We're just working on it every day. What sports are our schools offering? We want to be able to support what our institutions are trying to accomplish with their athletic programs. And we're a diverse conference. We have small private schools, we have large regional schools, we have schools who are focused on first generation students, if you can still believe that or not. We have schools that are legitimately pushing out rocket scientists. So we cover the gambit in what we're doing. So we try to make sure each institution, we're able to support their mission for athletics within the overall institution. It looks very different. It makes it challenging building consensus sometimes, but boy, we have a great group of leaders that have shown some confidence in what we're doing at the conference level. So it's been a little easier to lead in that way.
All right. Thank you so very much.
I would hate to get out of here without talking about Flow Sports a little bit.
Oh, yes, yes,
yes. So we're live here again. Our package, we're in year 2 of a 5-year extension. If you recall, Gulf South was the first conference to partner with Flow Sports, and it's been an absolute hit for us. There's no question. I think there's some more big things coming. I hope that we're able to announce that sooner than later. But the commitment that our institutions have made has been great. But I don't think Flow Sports and their leadership gets enough credit for how well they listen to their partners and try to address those. One of those big ways is the introduction of Flow College, which is going to be a whole new vertical within the ecosystem where all the college content lies. It's going to be easier to navigate. It's going to look more like some other sports video platforms that consumers may be able to have access to. And a lot of that comes out of Flow Sports being a great media partner that's willing to listen. I would never say we're their customer or their client. We're truly partners in this, and I'm glad to see it grow. We're up to 5 conferences that have a lot of content in Division II on there, and I think it's only going to get bigger. So very excited with what's happening with Flow. We look forward to seeing how we can leverage that to the benefit of the conference.
All right. Thank you so very much.
Thanks for your day.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Pleasure. That wraps it up here from the Winfrey Hotel in Hoover, Alabama, right outside of Birmingham. And thank you so very much for joining us. And make sure you stay tuned to Flow Sports for the Gulf South Conference as the football continues as they go all the way to the national championship. I'm James Verrett. Thank you for joining us, and have a great day.